Hello, everyone. My name is Seraphi, and I'm happy to meet you all. Today is Box Day, my dudes, and I have Kevin, probably the Cyber Dragon Guru, here with me to talk about the fact that Effect Failure is coming to Duel Links.
Yo, holy smokes. Oh my goodness. Yo, happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's talk about this box. So we got Deep Emotion, which is coming to Duel Links on the 25th of October. Um, and there are some banger cards in this box. So we have in the top line Effect Veiler, both versions of the base Live Twins, Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon, and Mind Control. Kevin, what are your thoughts about these URs?
Okay, so I want to preface this by saying I've been out of Duel Links for a long time. Like I've logged in maybe just to claim some rewards here and there, but I don't effectively play
Hmm.
since since a month before Rush Duel dropped.
Hmm.
I've just been on and off really. So seeing this box now, it makes me think that Konami lost a lot of players and is now just trying to get people back.
That's entirely possible. Yeah, the month before Rush came out was when they dropped Tenyi as well, so Tenyi is in the game too.
Yeah, dude. And is Tenji still tier one?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Go figure.
All right. Well, let's talk about this. So okay. All right. So it sounds like you're impressed. So obviously, Live Twins are a very popular deck. Um, that I don't think that Live Twins are going to be good in Duel Links yet. We'll get to the rest of the box in a minute. But the fact that they're here now, and of course they're accompanying Emma Basho, who is like the hacker character in Duel Links. So it makes sense to give this the female Phantom Thief streamer girls in the same
Right.
box. But
Yeah.
okay, uh, Duel Links is not a game that has ever had live twins. So let's talk about you know live twins because you played against them in other formats. So um, live twins is cool because it's a deck that focuses around Link twos, which is not really like the Link era was really kind of focused around Link threes and fours. And so having a sort of control deck that was kind of like a mid-range grind game with these two Link 2s that could recycle themselves was a different take on Link summoning. And what's your opinion about that power level in a 3-card board and a 4,000 life point format?
Well, as for the live twins, I know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't have any of the Unchained monsters, do we?
Unchained is not in Duel Links yet. Neither is Sprawl.
Right. Yeah, so that's the thing. So I know this deck pairs really well with Unchained, especially like the splash ability with them being able to revive and just shuffle around a lot of cards on the board, just move around a lot of things and link climb. I actually partnered with a member in my server, and we won a clan event because of his Unchained cards with the live twins. So that's really how I know them.
Hmm.
Um, but I feel like they're still lacking the higher level twins. Is that right?
Yeah. So they have you have the two base ones, and then the link monsters, and the level 8 that has 4,000 attack points when both of them are in the graveyard is coming as a limit one in a bundle. But
Gotcha.
we're not getting Frost, and we're not getting the Halloween one. So
Right.
yeah, that's what we got.
So I am a little bit bothered by the fact. I mean, I can understand why because of future proofing and stuff, but I'm bothered by the fact that both twins are ultra rares. So you need to go through this box three times
To even
to
start
get
playing
both
the
of
deck.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Not to mention the feature support that'll be 100% in other boxes. Because right now we're just going into the tip of the iceberg.
Hmm.
But this deck is going to become so good. And if anyone watching this, I recommend investing if you are a future proof player. Because this will definitely pop off and you will wish you had it.
I mean, if we're talking about future proofing, let's look one card to the right here. We have Effect Veiler, a level 1 spellcaster tuner with 0 attack points and 0 defense points. This is a light monster, which means that it can be searched by Sage with Eyes of Blue. And during your opponent's main phase, as a quick effect, you can discard this card, then target one effect monster your opponent controls and negate the effects of that face-up monster your opponent controls until the end of this turn. So, Effect Veiler is one of the original hand traps. It is a staple in especially a lot of chaos decks because it's a light monster that's very easy to get into the graveyard, and it pairs very well with some of the dark hand traps. Um, and there are ways to get around Effect Veiler, which is why it's probably the first card that's coming. Because you can tribute the monster that you as the target as a response, because it only works on face-up monsters, or you can even Book of Moon your own monster, and if you set it face down, then as part of the same chain, then your effect will still resolve because Effect Veiler can't affect a face down monster. But that sort of back and forth is something that we're missing from Duel Links right now. This idea that MSTing some back row is not going to be enough. You're not going to be able to just hold your Forbidden Lance, and this is actually probably going to really hurt Speedroids in particular, because Speedroids right now focus so much on going all in and just using playing around existing like board that you can see, and then using um, Forbidden Lance to keep yourself alive from the back row that you can't see. But a hand trap um, that can stop a Speedroid play will really interrupt them and negatively impact them, especially if you hit Kite Drake with it.
Oh, definitely.
Kevin, what are your thoughts on Effect Veiler coming to Duel Links?
Okay, this is going to be controversial, but I think Effect Railer has been long overdue for a minute now,
Mm-hmm.
and it may just be a dead card. We got Droll and Lockbird not too long ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that really has been doing almost nothing even in side format.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Effect Railer doesn't have many uses. Like what big monsters are we hitting with this? Maybe a 1-for-1 negate, which at that point you have what, 3, 4 cards left in your hand, and you still have to get around potential back row.
The biggest
It's
um, the biggest monster effects that I can think of in Duel Links, Sunrise, which lets you search Miracle Fusion and also pop a card. Um, we've got let's see. I mean, most decks have a search card, like Live Twins being able to special summon a monster from their deck, Stratos being able to grab a card from the deck. Magic Key has a search, I believe. Clock Wyvern, who's also in the box, lets you summon a token. Um, the Live Twins, yeah, like there are plenty of monsters that have a really explosive effect that gives you additional advantage. Um, but unless like Effect Veiler is really a card that you want to use at the start of someone's combo to make sure that they can't
right.
get off, especially if they're
Yeah.
if your opponent is summoning like a weak monster, like if they're summoning like a Live Twin, really, this is the best time to get Effect Veiler, because if your opponent is playing Live Twins and they summon like one of these little girls that has like 500 attack points, and then you just stop that effect from resolving, then they can't link summon, they can't do anything, their turn is over. So, um, I,
No, yeah, I definitely understand that.
mhm.
I don't know. It might just be me, but I just think Effect Veiler won't really do anything on launch, and it might take at least a while for it to become good. I feel like we need stronger boss monsters or end boards for it to see play.
I mean, but that's future proofing. you, you
Right.
you
I
do
mean, yeah.
want you do want Effect Veiler, I think.
Oh, 100%, yeah. Until we get Ash, and then you want Ash.
Yep. All right, let's skip ahead a little bit and talk about Mind Control, which has been in the game for a while, but it was locked behind a selection box. Um, all right, so Kevin, you are a lover of the Bonds That Illuminate the Future skill, and
I knew this was going to be brought up.
and the Bonds That Illuminate the Future skill has a very interesting clause where you can send monsters you control to the graveyard, and if their attack points are 2,500 or more, you just get 2 Signer Dragons.
Yes, I've been waiting for mind control for so long because I do not want to spend any more money on Duel Links than I already have. And this card dropping, I have no copies. So this card dropping means I can finally play the best version of a bond that illuminates that I can. And I can go take your monster, and just shoot out two big beefy Signer dragons for the fun,
Hmm.
for the meme, and then just swing into you for fun
All right,
and
so
laugh.
a couple things here. Number one, mind control is not once per turn, so you can literally just take if you have two mind controls, you can take two of your opponent's monsters, throw them both out, and then get Siren Dragons. The other thing is this is a limit 3, and Jet Synchron is still limit 3.
You only need one Jet Synchron,
Hmm.
being honest.
Okay, fair enough. People have started using Unknown Synchron.
I That's interesting. I have not been caught up. I do not know what the new Synchron builds are looking like, but that would not surprise me. It's
Well,
also a level one, it's searchable, and it works.
yep. Well, the primary like bonds that illuminate time builds right now are Ursardics because Ursardics are
Oh,
level 7s. So what you do is you can use a level 7 Ursardic with Mock Synchron, which is the wind one, to make Kite Drake because Kite Drake requires a wind machine tuner,
right.
and then you can just blow up the field.
That's okay. That's interesting. Well, I'm not gonna build their Sartics, but that sounds fun.
It is a lot of fun. You can ask Carmack about it. Okay.
I'm I'm excited about one card in here in particular that
All right.
you may not think is exciting.
All right. Which one is it?
It is the only trap you are in this box, Paleozoic Dinomischus. And I've
Paleozoic
been waiting for this card.
Dynamiscus. I am surprised. I mean, I can kind of see it. They want like they're not giving Altergeist basically any good cards, so they're making like I don't know if you played the event, but Ghost Gal's event deck is like half Paleozoic to make up for the fact that she has no monsters.
Oh wow.
Which this kind of sucks because like even if you try and use these as link materials, all the Altergeist monsters require Altergeist link materials. So
Right.
it's not even good. But Dynamiscus is a good card. Target one face up card on the field. Then on resolution, this is the best part of Paleozoic Dynamiscus. You target a card and then not for cost, but on resolution you discard one card, and if you do, banish it. So if your opponent negates Paleozoic Dynamiscus, you do not minus, at least from your hand, which is a very interesting way of wording the card. It also means that because the effect is you discard for effect, not for cost. Um, I believe this triggers Dark World cards. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? I'm reading this right.
It should.
Yeah, and then once per chain, and when this card's everyone knows what Paleozoic is. It revives itself as a level 2 with 1,200 attack points, and it's unaffected by monster effects. But yes, this is definitely the best Paleozoic card, and I don't know if you saw it. There is a Paleozoic Xyz monster in this box as well.
Yes, indeed. I know Bob's happy. Bob's finally completing his deck. He's
No,
excited.
no, Bob is not excited. Bob says that he is very frustrated that Toons just came out because he blew all his gems on Toons right before Paleozoics.
Man, I'm frustrated that it's been. I don't even know how long it's been. Cyber Dragons came out in 21,
Hmm.
and it's been 2 years no support.
I know, right? It's been
Or
pretty.
Cyber Darks. We don't even have the field spell. Konami, please, please.
Oh,
I'm
oh,
begging.
you want to talk about slow drip support? Let's talk about that big 3 in the middle of the screen there. We have a box with not 2, not 3, not 4, but one hero card. There is one hero card in this entire box, and it is Elemental Hero Neos Kluger. And they are releasing a skill that makes this card broken. So if you want to play heroes, you have to go into this box.
Dude, every time they release any hero support in a
Yes.
box, they always have a skill. It's insane.
Hmm. At
It's
least,
insane. If Cyber.
good.
Mhm. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say at least this is not a UR. for
Yeah,
for
yeah.
once they have given us a fusion boss monster for elemental heroes that is not a UR. I remember having to go into Tornado of Phantoms, which had like Gusto and I got a Gusto and Mecha Phantom Beast, and that was just to get one copy of Great Tornado.
Right. Yeah, no, that was extremely annoying. But I, on the other hand, got a prismatic rainbow over dragon from that, which was fun.
Ooh, nice.
Thank you,
Um,
thank you.
all right, so Neos Kluger is a fusion of Neos and Yubel. This card is limit 3 because Neos Fusion can make this. Um, And it must be fusion summoned before damage calculation. If this card battles an opponent's monster, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to half that monster's attack points. If this face-up
Wait,
card,
stop right there. Stop right there. Neo's Fusion can make this?
yeah,
Oh, that's broken. Oh, I didn't even know that.
yeah, dude, that's
That's insane.
that's why it's limit 3 because Neo's fusion is limit 3.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't even have Brave Neos at limit 3. Brave Neos is limit 2, and it doesn't compete with anything anymore because they unlimited both uh, Vion and Liquid Soldier. But but they put Neos Kluger at limit 3 so that you can't you have to run like 2 Neos fusions and one of this or something. But yes, you can.
Right.
Yes, you can make this with Neos Fusion. It is broken. Anyway, before damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to half that monster's attack points. If this card is destroyed by battle or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, leaves the field, not destroyed, not sent to the graveyard, leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can special summon one Neos Wiseman from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. And there is a broken skill that allows you to basically normal summon Yubel the Ultimate Nightmare.
I'm gonna play this build. I'm gonna play this build.
Yep. So the important thing is the GX cards are so old that they're not nerfed. So Kluger got its burn damage halved, but Yubel's burn damage is not halved. Terror Incarnate's burn damage is not halved. Ultimate Nightmare's burn damage is not halved, and Neos Wiseman's burn damage is not halved. So you are playing a burn deck with all of the burn damage not halved and free fusions. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, I can't wait. No, Konami's definitely gonna hit something.
Mm-hmm.
They have to.
Yep.
They have to.
Well, Harmac was saying that it might not be beyond Konami's pale to just go and errata all those cards once they start seeing play and just have all the burn damage. Which, I mean, I wouldn't mind that too much.
I don't know. There's some the burn damage having on a lot of these cards seems so unnecessary, especially cards that do like 100 or 200 damage. It seems so petty to just nerf them to 50 damage. It's so weird to me.
Yep. All right. Now we have Cyber's Clock Dragon. Did you watch Brains at all?
No.
So here's your Cyber Dragon. This is a Dark Cyber's fusion monster. It is a fusion of Clock Wyvern and as many Link monsters as you want. When this card is fusion summoned, you can send cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard equal to the total Link rating of the materials used for this card's fusion summon. And if you do, until the end of the next turn, other monsters you control cannot attack. Also, this card gains 1,000 attack points for every card sent to the graveyard by this effect. While you control a Link monster, your opponent cannot target other monsters you control for attacks. Also, your opponent cannot target other monsters you control for card effects. And if this fusion summon card you control is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can add one spell from your deck to your hand. Any spell you want.
Oh, this is going to be funny. Oh,
Yes.
This is going to be so funny.
So there is a skill. So, okay, Signet Fusion is the fusion spell. And it says fusion summon a Cyber's fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion materials. And if you control no monsters in the extra monster zone, you can also banish up to one Cyber's Link monster from your graveyard as material. So, the skill puts Decode Talker in your graveyard. So you can just literally normal summon Clock Wyvern, play Signet Fusion, summon Cyber's Clock Dragon, banishing the Decode Talker from your graveyard, mill 3, and it has 5,500 attack points. And you did absolutely no work.
Your skills are so funny in Duel Links.
Mm.
you have attack boost, ties that bind, and then you have these type of skills.
Yep. But to be fair, these cards are ridiculous. Like it is a little bit much. Now, there is a dream, of course, with Cyber's Clock Dragon of how many Link monsters can you hit? And there's a Link monster that facilitates that. So we have Clock Lizard. This requires.
Is it here?
Yeah, it's right here. It's a normal rarity card. It's at the bottom.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, I see it. Okay.
You contribute this card, return one fusion monster from your graveyard to the extra deck, then fusion summon that monster by banishing fusion materials listed on it from the graveyard. So if Cyber's Clock Dragon is in your graveyard, you contribute Clock Lizard, and then you just banish every Link monster in your graveyard, and you fusion summon Cyber's Clock Dragon.
Wait, hold on. So okay, even if you didn't have the skill, if I'm getting this right, Clock Wyvern is a one card just fusion. Because you
No.
Clock Wyvern, you use the effect, you go into Lizard, no?
So yes, but it only works if Clock Dragon is already in your graveyard.
Oh no, that's right. Okay, yeah, you're right.
But here, okay, watch. So you summon Clock Wyvern, and then you link Clock Wyvern into Clock Spartoy, which is the rare link monster on the second row.
Okay,
If this card is link summoned, you can draw Signet Fusion. And then if a monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, you can target one level 4 or lower Cyberse monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but negate its effects. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extract for the rest of the turn except fusion monsters. So you summon Clock Wyvern, you link it into Clock Spartoy, you draw Signet Fusion, then you use some other Cyberse card to special summon itself to a zone Clock Spartoy points to. That revives Clock Wyvern, then you can immediately Signet Fusion. So it's almost a one card fusion. You need to special summon one additional time, but yes,
okay. Now, how does this help the decode strategy or just the regular link strategy?
it doesn't. It's a completely different deck. Playmaker had a really weird deck in season 2.
Got it. So okay, makes sense.
All right. Let's see.
I'm not excited for Magic Keys. They are boring.
What?
They are boring,
Bro, Magic Keys are awesome. Okay.
dude.
All right. Are you
Nah.
excited for Raiden? Radian?
Um, not really. I
No.
kind of no. I just want Jizukiru.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Jizukira is a light machine. I can understand that.
Searchable, searchable. I need something, dude. Like,
I
come on.
understand. I understand. I understand. Um, what about Nightmare Cerberus? You talk about cards that were locked in behind a money.
I think okay. This is another hot take. I don't like Cerberus.
You don't like
I don't like.
Cerberus?
I don't like it as a card.
Why not?
So I like cards based off their art,
Oh, fair enough.
and rarely based off their effects. And Cerberus just looks weird.
Ah, it's got two heads and like a collar that it's okay.
It's the heads can't really do anything. The collar is literally restricting all of them.
Yeah, but that's because you have to hold it back because it's so powerful.
1600 attack, so powerful.
Okay, okay. They are releasing Bingo Machine Go. Bingo Machine Go was previously locked to the White Dragon of Legend structure deck, and
Oh shoot! I didn't even notice that.
they've been doing that more frequently. They've been like the last few boxes have all released like rares that were locked into structure decks.
That's actually good for the free to play. Yo, shout out Konami.
Yep. Um, let's see. And since we're talking about Bingo Machine Go, let's just go ahead and talk about it. So we have Abyss Dragon, Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon. Um,
Not that I would, not that I would, but damn,
for the
I will not elaborate.
for those that don't for those that don't know, Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon has very prominent thigh bones for some reason. Anyway, all right. So 2500 attack, 2500 defense. If this card is special summon, you can add one ritual spell or polymerization from your deck to your hand. During your end phase, you can add one level 8 or higher dragon monster from your deck to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard. All level 8 or higher dragon monsters you control gain 1000 attack points permanently. You can only use each effect of Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon once per turn, and you can only activate them while Blue Eyes White Dragon is on your field or in your graveyard. Okay, so this card is interesting. And have you seen the skill?
Yes,
Okay, so let's talk about the skill. I'm going to bring the skill up on screen real quick. Let's see.
and I also heard about that. If this is true, it's going to be funny. We're getting three more alternatives.
Those are already in the game. Two more alternatives, so you're gonna have three
Wait,
total.
they're already in.
Yeah, they started the
How do I
event at
get
like
them?
8 o'clock. You just log in and
What?
you just log in and there's like a bingo, and you just play the bingo.
Oh wait, they just like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm getting them right now.
Yep. Okay. All right. So Blue Eyes Dimension. During this duel, you can normal summon or set Blue Eyes White Dragon without tributing. By the way, the ability to set Blue Eyes without tributing is hilarious. I just want to do that and like have someone crash into it. and it has 2,500 defense points. Uh, and you cannot special summon monsters except ritual monsters or light dragon monsters with a level. So no Xyz summoning and no Link summoning. Send
Right.
one Blue Eyes card from your hand and one Blue Eyes card from your deck to the graveyard to draw Monster Reborn or one Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your hand. And then you also put Polymerization on the bottom of your deck. And if you use the skill on turn 2 or onwards, you can also put Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon and Chaos Form on the bottom of your deck. So what you do is you activate the skill, and you send, if you have Abyss Dragon in your hand, you send Abyss Dragon. If you don't have Abyss Dragon in your hand, you send Blue Eyes. And then you mill the other card. You need both Abyss Dragon and Blue Eyes in the graveyard. Then you activate Monster Reborn. So you draw Monster Reborn with the skill. Activate Monster Reborn, revive Abyss Dragon, use its effect, draw Chaos Form. Then you can either summon Manji of the 10,000 Hands, or you can activate Melody of the Awakening Dragon, draw Chaos Max, play Chaos Form, banish Blue Eyes from your graveyard, summon Chaos Max.
That's deadly.
It is deadly. For those of you that don't remember, Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon is a Dark Dragon Ritual monster with 4,000 attack points and 0 defense points. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Also, it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict double piercing damage.
It's a better Cositis.
It is a very, very powerful card. And the best part is, if you don't want to make Chaos Max for some reason, you can still draw Polymerization, because they shuffle a Poly into your deck too. And then you can just play Polymerization, make Neos, and you don't have to care.
I'm building this deck right now as we speak.
You can't.
Oh boy.
You can't build the deck. Abyss is in the box.
What?
Abyss is in the box. You need to wait for the box to come out.
No. I can still do it without Abyss. It's just harder. But I'm just as hard without it.
All right, fair enough. Well, I did post a link. If you check the deck showcase, I've already got a build.
Okay, hold on. Let me peep game. I'm peeping game. I'm going to the chat. Deck showcase. Is it COG showcase?
No, deck showcase.
No, I'm tripping. I don't even know my own server. Yo. Okay, I see it. Okay, so 2 Manjus. Okay, Monster Reborn. Triple Abyss. Yo, I'm going to kill myself right now.
You need 9 Blue Eyes cards. They have to be Blue Eyes cards. So 3 Blue Eyes, 3 alternatives, 3 Abyss.
Gotcha. Interesting. I'm gonna toss an obelisk in there for the fun.
Yep.
Can I do that? It's doable, right?
Hold on. I think you can normal summon. Yeah, you can normal summon whatever you want. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go, obelisk. Double alternative. Alternative has been power crept so badly that you can just play 2 now, or 3 even.
You can play 3. Yep, it's great.
Dino-Miscus is going to be fun, especially for the Blue Eyes players that love Karma Cut. This is literally a better Karma Cut.
It is a better Karma Cut, but you don't want to run the tuner monster in this deck.
No, but just for the general version of the deck, like what it was before.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Now, the most important card for Evil Twins is in the box, which is Evil Twins GG-EZ. And of course, as long as Evil Twins GG-EZ is in the game, whenever, it doesn't matter what deck you're playing, whenever you go for lethal, you could just flip Evil Twin GG-EZ and send your opponent a message.
They need to make one that's called GGRE.
Yep. Since you are an old school player, Kevin, I know that you'll appreciate this. If you scroll down to the bottom of the box, do you see that card on the bottom left?
Column switch?
No.
Might be different for mobile.
Oh, fair enough. Level limit area B is in the box.
Oh, I see it. Yes. Yo, we need Gravity Bind too, please.
I know it's weird. It's weird. I never expected to see this card in the game, but now they're just like, oh, we could just release this as a neutral because
Yeah.
everyone plays Links and sees this now.
No, exactly. It's like stall decks have also been just so phased out. You can't really play them anymore.
Hmm. Let's see. They added some C cards. They crept C cards in the box. We have Flying C and Shiny Black C. I saw Shiny Black Sea and I was just like, wait, I see that. I've seen that art before.
Pun intended.
Oh no, not intended, but uh, it's coming. He's coming. They're just gonna release Max C into this game. They don't care.
No, please, please, please,
We got Effect Veiler. We got Droll and Effect Veiler.
please, Konami, please.
They gave us Droll. They could be just like, it's your fault. You have Droll.
I think
Max C
I
doesn't matter.
I unironically think in speed duel format you could deck someone out without even trying.
I know it'd be great.
It's especially since we don't have Nibiru, so it's not like you can even stop their plays. It's just like you have to know when to max C at that point. Because if you do it early, you could get decked out.
Oh
Because
man,
everyone's running 20 cards.
I cannot wait for Nibiru. Oh,
It's gonna be so rageful.
did you watch my voice acting video?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm making a
The
sequel.
it's the introducing the Guru's Ace monsters, right?
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm making a sequel to that, and it's going to be Master Duel Staples, and Nibiru the Primal Being is going to be the first card I cover.
You need to make it the most outrageous thing. Either that or just scream into your mic something
Oh,
inaudible because it's a giant rock.
I've got a great line. You want to hear it?
Yeah, let's go for it. Sneak peek.
Hey, look, it's a shooting star, and it already granted my wish. Nibiru the Primal Being.
Oh, it's actually a pretty good chant. Yo.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Yo, pop off. What other ones are you doing?
Zeus.
Ooh, can't wait for that. It has a controversial name in the Japanese.
Oh, does it? I didn't know that.
Negalogia.
Negalogia. I've never heard of that. Is that like?
Yeah.
That's a religious term, I'm guessing.
No, no, no. It just sounds like
I see. I thought it was controversial to the Japanese. I apologize. Okay. All right.
No.
And then I posted like that people could like make whatever like request whatever they wanted from me on the Discord, and so I've gotten requests for um Predaplant Dragostapelia, um Psyframe Driver. Kegsis asked me to do Psyframes. Yeah, the level 6 neutral monster, normal monster.
Yeah, yeah. Yo, can I yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could request. Go post it in the racetrack. I'll post whatever you want.
Bet.
But it has to be a monster that gets summoned. So no hand traps unless they come to the board like Nibiru does.
I was gonna do a trap card.
Nah, it's gotta be a monster. I can't do summon chance for traps.
I activate my trap card.
Speaking of that, Ghost Gal. I don't know if you didn't watch Vrains, did you?
No.
Ghost Gal activated infinite impermanence in Vrains, so she has a line.
That's the card.
She has a line for. I do it because you were like a trap card. I was just like, there's only one Cyber Dragon trap card that I know. So yes, Ghost Gal has a line with Imperm because she activated it in the anime.
Oh my god, yo, please.
So if they give us Imperm, you will have to play Cyber Dragons on Ghost Gal because you want the Imperm line.
I'm gonna have to do it for the one time. For the one time, for the culture, for my people.
All right, let's see. The rest of the box, you said that you don't care about Magic Keys, so I'll just cover that with Gold when he gets here. The other big card is World Gears of Theological Demiurgy, which is a Link 3 that requires 3 level 5 or higher monsters, so 3 Cyber Dragons.
Yeah.
3,500 attack. Cannot be used as Link material. This Link summon card is unaffected by other monsters' effects, so it's just a towers.
Right.
During your main phase, if you control this card that was Link summoned using 3 monsters that had 3 different types and 3 different attributes on the field, you could destroy all other cards on the field every single turn. Soft once, just pop. Well, not soft once, hard once, but still. Every turn, you just get to pop every other card on the field.
Yeah.
And then, if your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck except during the damage step, you can special summon one World Legacy monster from your deck, any World Legacy monster, and they're all level 8 or whatever.
Hmm.
So,
I like I like the artwork.
the artwork is really good. This is typically used in the Nightmare Incarnation deck, which they did leak Nightmare Incarnation Idli as a super rare. So I'm guessing she's going to be like added to the ranked card ticket pool as a super rare. Um, she's
Okay.
not good without Mermaid. The
Oof.
reason why the reason why Idli has Nightmare in the name is so that you could special summon it with Mermaid, and then they ban Mermaid, so we can't play this deck. But um, the reason why they're putting in this box is because you can make it with magic keys. Because magic keys have 3 level 8s, and one synchro, one ritual, and one fusion, and they're all different types and all different attributes.
Are getting rid of all of those three, or okay? So here's what I'm trying to say: is summoning all those three to get rid of them for this one Link monster worth it?
Yes, 3,500 attack points, which is almost all of your opponent's life points. It's unaffected by monster effects, and it destroys every other card on the field.
Unaffected by monster effects, can't be booked, so it can't be flipped.
It can't. Yeah,
Uh,
it can't be booked, but it can be. You can use compulse. You can use crackdown, but
Dynamiscus.
but here, yeah, you can use dynamiscus. But here's the thing: wouldn't your opponent have already done that to one of the other giant monsters you summoned?
Um, if okay, do they have any relevant effects? Because I don't really know magic keys.
Okay, so the level 8 ritual monster is a negate and destroy monster effects.
Got it. Well, if that's happening on my opponent's turn, I'm not really stressing about that.
The synchro monster can make up to 2 attacks on monsters, and it sets a spell or trap directly from your deck. And then, anytime your opponent summons a monster with the same attribute as a monster in your graveyard, you can destroy it.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. But okay, so that would be effects during my turn.
Mhm.
This would still be your turn. So you would be summoning these, and what you would be going directly into it, or would you pass on these three?
Okay, well, here we go. Here we go. This is the one that you care about on your turn. Once per turn, no, sorry. Once per turn, you can target one normal monster or one magic monster in your graveyard and destroy all monsters your opponent controls with that monster's attribute.
Okay, well at that point you do something to that, but then you can't summon the Link 3.
No, because when this card is summoned, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects. So this card is summoned, then you pass priority, your opponent can't activate anything, then you can immediately activate the ignition effect. So they can't stop you from doing this unless they have a negate.
Gotcha. Okay. That
Which
only
is,
destroys monsters though, right? Like, or everything.
it destroys monsters. Monsters that share an
Monster.
attribute with a card in your graveyard.
Got it. So at that point you would still be able to respond with like back row.
Yep.
So chances are you could still intervene, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You could
They
probably
they
win
do
the
have a
game with those
they
three.
they do have a counter trap.
Oh, okay.
When your opponent activates a spell or trap card, while you control a magic key that was either ritual summon or special summon from the extra deck, negate the activation. If you do destroy that card, then you can declare one attribute. And if you do that for the rest of the turn, all face-up monsters your opponent controls become that attribute. So you magic key unlocking, turn them all into the one attribute, and then you blow them all up with add your beam.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, you're gonna have to prove me wrong
I'm not
because
I'm not stepping foot in this box.
oh, you're not.
Nah, bruh. I gotta save my gems for Rush.
That's oh yeah, that's right. Yo, how are the boxes? Is it like 1 month speed, 1 month rush?
That's what it seems to be.
Oh, that's gonna piss me off so bad.
Now it's funny. It's funny. Legitimately, if you go back in my history, there are Discord messages. Not on this server, but um, I've sent Discord messages to other people that said like when Live Twins were first leaked way back in I think like April. I was like, if there are Live Twins in this box, I will spend $500 to get every copy of every card in this box. I will go through that. I will play this deck because I tried to make this in Master Duel like 3 times and I couldn't. I just could not get enough of the cards because they're all so high rarity, and I would just get flooded with Altergeist cards. So
Right.
so I was so eager to play this deck in Duel Links because in Duel Links the boxes have a maximum. Like you will get every card in the box if you spend enough. So I was just like, all right,
Right.
I will spend money to play Evil Twins. I am so hyped to play Evil Twins. I love the aesthetic of Evil Twins. I've seen people play Evil Twins. They seem super fun. The recycling aspect is really cool. I really like the design of the cards. I was so hyped. And the only thing that could have killed my interest is that they split the they split the app up. And now I'm just like, unless it's Speedroids or one of the other archetypes that I manage in Dimensional Rift, which is my thread on the forum. Other than those two, I'm not going to play Speed anymore.
Damn. So your dreams got crushed.
They did, but it's okay because I have rush tools now. So
But you know what? You know what? You know what's good?
what?
You're not a Cyber Dragon player.
That's true. If I was a Cyber Dragon player, I probably wouldn't even bother logging into Duel Links, except to collect a few rewards every now and then.
Exactly. Right? Shit. I wonder who's doing that right now. Man.
Uh, All right. Well, so this is the box. So I've gotten all of your initial thoughts, Kevin. Thank you so much for coming. Everyone, this is the Cyber Dragon Guru. He is on the Guild of Gurus under Cybernetic Embassy. Drop him a line whenever you want. Kevin, it's always a pleasure. And for the rest of you, I'll be picking this back up in a little bit. All right. Hello, everyone. This is Seraphi once again. This time I am joined by Goldmine, the Galactic Eyes Guru himself. And we're going to talk about the Deep Emotions box. So,
Hello,
Gold,
everybody.
how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. Glad to hear it. All right. So, Gold, you are very active in Duel Links. I believe you still haven't hit King of Games this month, well, except for in Rush, but you're working on it. I'm sure. I have faith in you.
Yeah, I'm still working on it.
But you play every day, and so, what is your opinion about Effect Veiler finally coming to Duel Links?
I think this is gonna be a very, very busted staple. Like this is like I talked about this earlier, but this is a staple you should not miss
Do you want to
because.
elaborate?
Oh, all right, let me elaborate. Basically, this cannot be beat up by back row removal. You basically need something like Deep Dimensional Fissure or Book of Moon to beat it right now, because we don't have Call by and Duel Links, making it a very, 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 very powerful tool.
Okay. So, Dimensional Fissure is a continuous spell card that says any monster that would go to the graveyard is banished instead. And the reason why that card stops Effect Veiler is because Effect Veiler specifically needs to be sent to the graveyard. And so you can't send it to the graveyard if you have Dimensional Fissure on the board, which means that Effect Veiler's effect turns off. So if you are interested in ways to avoid Effect Veiler, Dimensional Fissure is the way to go. All right. Yes, Effect Veiler is a very powerful card, and it is not limit 3. It is, which is cool. Like, we have Mind Control, it's limit 3, but Effect Veiler is unlimited, just like Droll was. So you can feel safe to get in this box and get 3 copies of it. All right. Okay. We have Ghost Gal in the game now, and we will be able to unlock her on the same day that the box comes out. And in the Ghost Gal box, we have exactly 3 Altergeist cards.
Honestly, it's kind of sad.
Yeah,
That's kind of sad.
there are
Like the main
2
person.
URs.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
I was basically saying the main person who this box should be for. The only got 3 of their cards, bro. It's like reliving the Neo Galaxy Eyes box.
Yeah, but that wasn't even Kite's release box though, which is imagine
I know.
imagine if the Galaxy Eyes box just had like Galaxy Eyes Thrasher and like Lizard. Like that would have been so bad. Okay. So this is bizarre. So there are actually quite a few kind of bad Altergeist cards that they could have given us as neutral or uh, rare rarity, and instead they gave us 2 ultra rares and a super rare. Um, the cards they gave us are decent. Silkwitis is probably the best one. Premium Banshee is her ace. Premium Banshee is a Link 3 Dark Spellcaster monster with 2100 attack points. It requires at least 2 Altergeist monsters, and during the main phase, as a quick effect, you contribute 1 other Altergeist monster to special summon 1 Altergeist monster from your deck to your zone this card points to. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 Altergeist card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. That's interesting. Being able to revive cards, being able to special summon monsters from the deck, very very useful effect.
Definitely.
What?
I said, oh, definitely. I
Yeah.
said, oh, definitely.
But the problem is she doesn't do much after that. So this card is not really a boss monster. It's more kind of like an extender as a Link 3, which is weird. And it's not even really an extender because you have to tribute a card. So you go 1 for 1, which is, I mean, it's alright. It's not great. I'm not impressed by this card. I assume that there's a reason to use it, but I'm not. I don't know what it is. So we'll have to see. Arthurgeist does have a bunch of revives, so I guess tributing a card doesn't make them go minus too much as long as you're willing to waste your traps on it. But we'll see. Then we have Meloseek. Meloseek is not worth a UR slot. This card is terrible. It's good in Master Duel because in Master Duel you can actually use the effect and then link it off still, but in Duel Links it's awful. So it's a level 1 water spellcaster monster, and it can attack directly. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and send it to the graveyard. That's pretty fine. I mean, you could throw Dingirsu out with this card, but it's got 500 attack points, and if you use the effect, then you are ending your turn because you don't have a main phase 2. So good luck not dying. But
they made this card our limit free.
Hold on. There's more to the card than that. So the reason why it's limit 3 is the next part. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 Altergeist monster from your deck to your hand except Meloseek.
Okay, see now.
So
since continue.
So it says sent to the graveyard. That's the important part. So if this card is used as link material, you get to search.
But then my question is it really worth that limit-free slot?
They expect Altergeist to be a trap-heavy deck, and they want Altergeist to not be annoying. So they are making sure that the card that you need 3 of is a limit 3, so you can't play cards like Crackdown, which, to be fair, Altergeist uses a ton of tribute effects. So I don't want people to have Crackdown. I don't want them to be able to tribute my monsters. They want to make sure that you can't play Mind Control in Altergeist either, which is another card that I don't want to see in Altergeist with all their tributes. So I'm fine with this. Oh, well, Altergeist, Mind Control doesn't let you tribute. Never mind. But it's still.
Fair enough.
Silkwitis is the big card. It's 800 attack, 500 defense, level 2. As a quick effect, you can target 1 other Altergeist you control. You can return 1 other Altergeist card you control to the hand, then target 1 card your opponent controls and return it to the hand. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 Altergeist trap in your graveyard, add that card to your hand. You can only use each effect of Altergeist Silkwitis once per turn. So this card is meant to be used with Altergeist Kunkeri, which is a level up reward for Ghost Gal. And Kunkeri, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, if you control an Altergeist card, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, negate that attack. If this card is special summoned, you can target 1 face-up card your opponent controls and negate its effects while Kunkeri is face-up on the field. Now, the thing about Kunkeri is it is not a once-per-turn effect. So you can special summon Kunkeri, then you can use to stop 1 attack. Then you use Silkwitis to return Kunkeri and another monster your opponent controls to the hand. That stops that attack. And then if your opponent attacks a 3rd time, you special summon Kunkeri again, and then you stop the 3rd attack. So that's 3 out of 4 possible attacks with just 2 cards.
Oh, I see now.
So Altergeist. So the reason why Kunkeri is not in the box, I'm guessing Kunkeri is going to be a soft one of. I'm guessing that this will be Emma's level 23 level up reward, and then Multifaker will be her level 35 level up reward, and we'll only get one copy of each of these, I'm guessing.
I can definitely see that being the case. Plus, 5D. Let me get this. Frey still got levels to go. Like it may not be now, but they still got levels to go, so they can add later if they want to.
Mhm.
But I definitely do agree with what you said. I believe they're gonna make it a hard one, not a hard one, a soft one right now.
Mhm. So, ugh, is this box good for Altergeist? I mean, you will need Meluseek to play the game. So I'm sitting here like, how do you even trigger Meluseek? And people have been telling me, well, what you do is you link it into Link Karibo. But like I just got done saying, all the Altergeist monsters require Altergeist materials. So making Link Karibo doesn't seem that good. It does let you play Fidgy alerts. So let's see. Altergeist Fidgy Alert. When an Altergeist Link monster is link summoned to your field while this card is in your hand, you can target one other Link monster on the field, special summon this card to your zone that target points to. Also, that target is treated as an Altergeist this turn. That doesn't even work. I was thinking that maybe you could use this to treat Link Karibo as a Altergeist, but it doesn't even work because you would have to Link summon another Altergeist monster, and Link Karibo points down, so there's no space for it. So that wouldn't work. So yeah, this seems dumb. This seems bad. I don't know what people are talking about with Link Karibo as the Meluseek starter. That seems dumb. Okay.
You have continue.
But I mean, the point is that Meluseek puts Multifaker in your hand, and if you have Multifaker in a trap, that's all you need, I guess. Go ahead.
I'm basically gonna say you asked me earlier, is this box good for Altergeist players? If you want my honest opinion, I'm retaining my opinion earlier. I feel like this is the Neo Galaxy box version for them, bro.
Mhm. Yep, that's pretty
This is
rough.
not giving them. This is not giving them enough of what they need.
Maybe, but you can't really play Ultragas without Silkwoodus. Like you could easily skip this card, and this card could be like you could run like one of these and still get away with it. But you need Silkwoodus to play Altergeist. So I feel like Altergeist players aren't gonna have a choice. All right. Uh. Well, we talked about effect failure. Let's talk about mind control. So mind control is a normal spell card. It is not once per turn. It lets you take control of one of your opponent's monsters. You do have to target it. Um, but that monster cannot declare an attack or be tributed. However, it can use its effects. So you can take like what's a good monster that has effects? Starlight, Red Dragon, Archfiend. Take Starlight, Red Dragon, Archfiend, and just blow the field up, and then I don't know, synchro it off or something. So this card's been in the game for a while, but people, I think, wasn't it in the same box that IDP was in?
Yeah, it was in the same selection box.
Yeah, so all the people who got Mind Control didn't run it because they wanted to run IDP instead. But now we have Mind Control and we don't have IDP for the free to play players. So I think Mind Control is going to see a ton more play now.
True. And I want to talk about mind control's earlier uses. It was used before in like Orcus, so you can get off your link,
Hmm.
so you can go into Dingarasu.
Yep.
I butchered that name, but yes, DXCs.
Yeah.
And then it was also using like Synchrons so they could pop up with their skill.
Yes, Kevin and I discussed that at length earlier. Because Kevin likes the skill. So, but yes, you are able to simply tribute your opponent's monsters and then summon 2 Signer Dragons for free, and then continue with your turn, which is really funny. Okay. Um. Yeah, there's not much to say about mind control. If you don't require another limit 3, then you should definitely run this card. And if you need a limit 3, you won't miss this card because it's not a trap. All right. Um. Now we go to the Bob part of the box. We have Paleozoic Dynamiscus and Paleozoic Anomalocaris. All right. So Dynamiscus is a trap card that targets a face-up card on the field. It doesn't have to be a monster; it can be a spell or trap. And discard 1 card, and if you do, banish it. and then you can revive it whenever another trap is activated as a level 2 with unaffected by monster effects. Um,
His own karma cut now. He really got his karma cut now.
yep. It is an ultra rare, which is more expensive than Karma Cut, but um, the ability to revive it as a material is very good. Paleozoics are a deck that regularly sees play as like an engine in decks that need trap cards. Ultrageist definitely qualifies for that.
Oh,
This
death.
this is the last Paleozoic card we were missing, so um, Paleozoics are basically now finished, which is fantastic. And if you want to build a pure Paleozoic deck, you can play this with Wetlands, which is a field spell that gives all your Paleozoics 1,200 extra attack points. So it can be 2,400 beaters that are unaffected by monster effects. Try that deck if you want to. It is really, really funny. Then the Xyz monster. It requires 3 or more level 2 monsters. So you'll have to fill your board up with Paleozoic traps to make this. 2,400 attack, rank 2. This card is unaffected by other monster effects. Once per turn, if a trap card is sent from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard, so that includes if you activate the spell and then it resolves. You can activate the top card of your deck, and if it's a trap, add it to your hand. Otherwise, send it to the graveyard. Once per turn, during either player's turn, if this card has a trap card as Xyz material, you can detach one material from this card, then target one card on the field and destroy it. That is broken. So this card is extremely good, and I think this card will see a ton of play. Um,
Oh, definitely. It definitely will in Paleozoics.
mhm. And the question is, will Paleozoics get more popular? And possibly.
Honestly, maybe. Like, now they got a lot more tools.
Canada
I
was
know
already pretty good.
it technically still is. Like, even though it doesn't work on links, it still can be very good.
Mm-hmm.
So I do believe Paleozoics will become more popular right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, and then we have a few other decks in the box to talk about. So let's cover the mini decks first. So we got 3 skills and 3 decks that are supported by this box at the same time. And the first one is Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon. So if this card is special summon, you can add 1 ritual spell or polymerization from your deck to your hand, and then during your end phase, you get to draw a level 8 or higher dragon monster. Um, so basically, you use the skill to send this card and Blue Eyes to the graveyard. You play Monster Reborn, you revive Abyss Dragon, and then you draw Chaos Max and you summon it, and you kill people. Uh, is that
We
good?
definitely,
Go ahead.
for what it is, I definitely think it's good. Like, we all knew this was coming, especially with the skill requirement for the Blue Eye skill. Like, they had to release more support because as of right now, it Blue Eyes could not fill that skill requirement.
Yes, it does require 9 Blue Eyes monsters. Yes. Um, I like Chaos Max. I hope that Chaos Max gets an animation. I hope they're making such a big deal out of this event that it would be a crime if they didn't give Chaos Max an animation. But I don't know. I mean, I just like the ability to normal summon Blue Eyes. I've played Blue Eyes so many times at this point and gotten so frustrated at having 2 Blue Eyes in my hand. Um, on turn 1, when you can't activate the skill, you can activate the skill until turn 3. Um, so being able to just throw a Blue Eyes out as like a 3,000 attack vanilla and just say beat over this, it feels great. Um, so I'm happy about the skill. I'm happy that we got Abyss Dragon, and I'm happy that Bingo Machine Go is going to be available to everybody. Yeah, it should be fun.
I wish they would do this with more cards. Like I hope they release like Vion, like Vision Hero Vion.
So they released Strike of the Monarchs. Strike of the Monarchs has been released, and I think in the last box they also released another rare that was previously locked behind a structure. So I think we're 3 for 3 in recent boxes for rares from structure decks being unlocked. So we're getting there. Vion is the one that I'm most scared of. Well, and Celestial. We don't need people to have Celestial. All right. Um, Celestial's banned in MD, right?
Oh yeah, because of DPE.
Yeah, because of
Yes.
DP. Yeah. All right. Okay. So next card, we have Neos Kluger as the only hero card in the entire box.
They really hitting on sharp with this one.
Mm-hmm. And Kevin did not
But that's
Kevin did not
oh,
know this, so I will go ahead and tell you just in case you don't know this. The reason this card is limit 3 is because you can make it with Neos Fusion.
right. I remember reading that once. But yes, you can make this with Neo Fusion.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a lot better than its original version. Like
Neos Wiseman,
like
yes.
basically, if you battle a monster, you can you basically get the Flame Weak Man effect.
Yeah, it is halved, but yes.
And if it leaves the field, you can still summon Neo's Wise Man.
Mm-hmm. And Neos Wiseman has the full Flame Wingman effect, but it also gains life points equal to the destroyed monster's defense points, which is weird. Um, so apparently, Jaden gets life point gain at the very end of at the very end of GX. Because doesn't he?
Yeah.
Isn't like Neos Kluger like the only? He uses it in the final duel, and that's it.
Yes, he only uses it in the final duel. And you want to know something? His anime effect is better.
Of course, his
Go
anime
ahead,
effect is
read
better. I'm not gonna read. I'm busy. I'll read it later. We'll talk about it later. We got a video to make.
it.
All right. So that is it. That's the only hero card in the box. So there we go. That is the hero deck. If you like Yubel, then this is definitely a card that you will want to get. Um, but it's not necessary. You can play the Yubel skill and kill people with Ultimate Nightmare without playing Neos Kluger. I want to encourage people to play the Yubel skill without going into the box, and then if you feel like you need Neos Kluger, then you can just come back and get the super rare. I think you only need one. Okay, and the other skill that is supported by this box is the Clock Dragon skill, which this deck has like a few cards in there. We got Cyber's Clock Dragon, we got Clock Wyvern, we got Proxy F Magician, we got Clock Spartoy, we have Clock Lizard, and we have Signet Fusion. And Diplex or Chimera. I think that's all of them. Yeah. Okay. So Clock Wyvern. Oh, oh snap! I just realized the missing piece. The missing piece. I was talking to Kevin about this earlier about how the skill like it was good. It was basically like a one card clock dragon, but you were missing one piece. You had to special summon a card from your hand to trigger clock Spartoy. I forgot the skill. Yeah, okay. The skill lets you change a normal monster you control to Stack Reviver. And when Stack Reviver is used as link material for a link summon, you can target one other level 4 or lower Cyber monster in your graveyard that was used as material for that summon and special summon it. So okay, so that's the missing piece. That's why this skill works. Okay, so hold on. All right,
That catch is insane.
what?
I said that catch was insane. I really did not think about
No,
this,
no,
but
no, no,
yes.
no, 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 hold on. I'm cooking. Okay. All right, so you activate the skill. You return Clock Wyvern to your deck to draw Clock Wyvern and Signet Fusion. Then you normal summon Clock Wyvern. Activate the skill to turn the token into Stack Reviver. Because when it's normal summon, you summon a token. Tokens are normal monsters. Turn the normal monster into Stack Reviver. Then you link both those off into Clock Spartoy. Clock Spartoy effect, draw Signet Fusion. Um, If a monster is special summoned to the zone this card points to, except during the damage step, you can target one other level 4 or lower Cyber monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So Stack Reviver will revive Clock Wyvern. Clock Wyvern will point to Clock Spartoy. Then you get to bring back another monster from your graveyard. And then you can fuse, or no, you can't link summon. Because you can only fusion summon. What is the... I feel like this skill is trying to set you up to have both Proxy F Magician and Clock Spartoy at the same time. But I don't know. Damn, I'm cooking, but I'm missing something. I don't play this deck. I'm missing. There's a line. I can see it. I can see it in my head. There's a line to make like the best play ever for fusions, and I just it's. I'm gonna have to play. I'm gonna have to play with these cards. I'm gonna have to like get on my alts and play this deck and see how this goes. There's a line. I promise. I can see it. Anyway, so you normal summon Clock Wyvern. You special summon the token. You make the token into Sack Reviver. Link it to Clock Spartoy. Revive Clock Wyvern. Get another body on the board, which I'm sure you will do something with, but I don't know what yet. And then you also draw Signet Fusion, and then you can activate Signet Fusion and fuse Clock Spartoy and Clock Wyvern together to make Cyber's Clock Dragon. And you can also, if you want to, use the skill to send Decode Talker from your outside your deck to the graveyard. And Cyber's Clock Dragon is it requires Clock Wyvern plus at least one or more Link monsters. And when this card is fusion summoned, you can send cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard equal to the total Link rating of materials used for this card's fusion summon. And if you do, until the end of the next turn, other monsters you control cannot attack. Also, this card gains 1,000 attack for each card sent to the graveyard. So if you use the skill, which puts Decode Talker in your graveyard, that's a Link 3. You mill 3, you have 5,500 attack points. But if you get like a bunch of Link monsters out at the same time, you can make a much bigger monster. And there is a way for you to go off even harder. So what you can do is you can make Clock Lizard, and Clock Lizard, which you can make by linking. If you can literally link Cyber's Clock Dragon into this. So Clock Lizard lets you tribute itself to return one fusion monster from your graveyard to the extra deck. Then fusion summon that fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from your graveyard. So what?
I said I see now.
Yeah, so you can tribute this card, then banish literally every Link monster in graveyard. So you have Clock Lizard, maybe you have Decode Talker, that's 3. Then you have like maybe Clock Spartoy, that's another 2. Maybe you have Proxy F Magician, that's another 2. So let's say you have those 4. That's 2, 5, 7, 9. That's 9 Link ratings, which means you mill 9, and Cyber's Clock Dragon has 11,500 attack points.
Okay, I see now. Yes, that would definitely be a very, very strong. Like that could beat over like even Chaos Max.
That's
like
right.
If your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, continue.
And then we also have Duplexer Chimera, which is another fusion monster. It requires any 2 Cybers monsters, and once per turn, you contribute 1 Cybers monster, including itself. Spell and trap cards and their effect cannot be activated during the battle phase of this turn. If this fusion summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Signet Fusion and 1 Cybers monster in your graveyard, accept this card, and then add them to your hand. So you summon Duplexer Chimera with Signet Fusion. You tribute it. You get back one of your materials and Signet Fusion, so you basically paid for the card. And you also basically turn spells and traps off in the battle phase, so that you can then turn around and be like, I summon my giant beat stick, and I'm going to kill you with it.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
that would. Oh, continue.
It says both spell and trap cards and their effects. So not only can you not activate spells or traps, if you have a spell or trap that is already on the field that would activate, it can activate. So for example, one of the biggest spell cards that I think we'll start seeing play now is Piercing the Darkness, which is a continuous spell card that allows magic keys to basically beat over anything. Because when it's a continuous spell card, and it says if your monster that was ritual summoned using a high level normal monster battles, it steals the opponent's attack points. That will not activate. You can't activate spell or trap effects during this battle phase. So you literally turn off all your opponent's continuous spells, all of their field spells, all of their equipped spells, as long as the effect is activated and not a continuous effect. So this is going to be great. I promise you. Anyone out there who is like even the least bit interested in Cyber's Clock Dragon, I promise you, there is a line. It is there. I can see it, and it's going to be amazing.
You were cooked here. But yes, I definitely agree. There's definitely a line here. That's what the skill was definitely meant to do.
Hmm. It's just a question of how much value you can get out of it in a single turn. But you're gonna have to really like. There's gonna be so much power that comes off of this one normal summon with this Clock Wyvern, which is what it's meant to do. Like Playmaker just destroys people with this Clock Wyvern in the anime. Um, so it's just gonna be like you're gonna have to perfectly make your extra deck because your extra deck is gonna have like six one ofs, and you're gonna have to figure out which one of you're gonna use at which given time, and then you have to make sure that you have enough materials left to make Clock Dragon. So we'll have to see, but I am very excited to play this deck. All right, okay. So then let's go on to Magic Keys. So Magic Key is a deck that I will actually go into with more detail. Oh wait, no. Let's talk about Evil Twins first. All right, Evil Twins are in the box. I have already basically talked about them as much as I want to with Kevin, so I'll just let you talk, Gold.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know a whole lot about Evil Twins.
Bro, you play Master Duel.
Yes, I have. Uh,
Man.
I'll, I'll talk about what I do know.
Okay.
Let's start with the URs because they're like the starters.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is Lali. I mean, Lil La.
Mm-hmm.
Your opponent must pay 5,000 life points to declare attack. They
500 life points.
both, yes, they both have effects upon when your opponent declares an attack while they're on the field.
Mm-hmm.
If this card is normal or special summon, and you have no other cards on the field, you can special summon one Ki-sikil, but I cannot pronounce his name. The pink hair girl
Mm-hmm.
from your hand or the deck,
Okay.
and basically, it goes into the other one, Ki-sikil. Each time an opponent's monster declares your attack, you gain 500 life points. If this card is normal summon or special summon, you can special summon one Lila from your hand or deck. Basically, they can recur each other. Like, as long as you have one, you have the other, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And now let's go on to their links. Evil Twin Lilila. If this card is special summon and you control a Ki-sikil monster, you can target one card on the field and destroy it. During the main phase, if you do not control a Ki-sikil monster, you can special summon one Ki-sikil monster from your graveyard. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra for the rest of your turn except Fiend monsters. And the next one is Evil Twin and Ki-sikil. If this card is special summon and you control a Little La monster, you can draw one card. In the main phase, if you do not control a Little La monster, you can special summon one Little La monster for your graveyard. So you cannot special summon monsters from the extra for the rest of your turn. Basically, these two cards lock you, but they can get back one of their smaller forms from the graveyard. You know, the live twins.
Okay, so I'll kind of share the line here. So you have one or the other of these. You normal it, you get the other one. Let's say that you have Lila and you go into and you pull out Ki-sikil. Then what you can do is you can link those two monsters into Evil Twin Lila, and then you activate Evil Twin Lila's effect because you don't control a Ki-sikil monster. Revive Live Twin Ki-sikil, then link those two into Evil Twin Ki-sikil. So you use the first link monster as material for the second link monster to put this monster in the graveyard. You pass to your opponent, and then at any point during your opponent's main phase, you can special summon Lila from your graveyard because you don't control one. And then when Lila comes out, since you already control a Ki-sikil monster, you get to immediately destroy a card on your opponent's field.
I see now.
Mm-hmm. And we did not get the other main deck monsters. There's another form of both of these girls, and we did not get either one of them. So there's only 3 URs and 3 URs for the starters, but then you also have Secret Password. which is a spell card that allows you to add one Live Twin or Evil Twin spell or trap from your deck to your hand. And if you control a Ki-sikil monster and control a Lila monster, you can add one Evil Twin monster from your deck to your hand instead. You can only activate one secret password per turn. And what you play this card for is Live Twin Home, which is a quick play spell that allows you to discard a card to special summon one Ki-sikil or one Lila monster from your deck. Also, for the rest of this turn, after the card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except Evil Twin monsters. So you play this card, you play Secret Password, you get Live Twin Home, then you discard a card to get either Live Twin Lila or Live Twin Ki-sikil out. So basically, you have 3 copies of this, 3 copies of this, 3 copies of this, 3 copies of this. That is 12 starters.
I see. Yes, I definitely see the line here.
Then you have 8 traps basically, and you try and play the game. And you might think, okay, well, how do you win the game? Well, the way that you win the game is you play the Avermax skill, and you will then just link these off a bunch, make a bunch of copies of Ki-sikil and Lila that you can recycle, and then on turn 5, after you've kind of grinded your opponent out, you can return 4 cards from your graveyard to your extra deck to put Avramax in your extra deck, and then you can basically just go into Avramax using these cards, and then Avramax will just kill your opponent. So it's going to be difficult because you can't just Lila and Ki-sikil in the same turn and then immediately link them into Avramax because you're locked into Fiends. But you basically have to pass a turn and like keep both of them on the field at the same time, and then you can just immediately go into Avramax at the start of your next turn and kill people. So it's going to be kind of a slow, grindy deck. It's going to have some problems. We do have the boss monster, which is searchable with Secret Password. And the boss monster is insane, but...
and then we got Live Twin Channel.
We do have Live Twin Channel. It's okay. Live Twin Channel is the field spell. When a monster declares an attack, you contribute one Ki-sikil monster or one Lila monster to negate that attack. And the reason why you want to do that, so let's say that we did what we were talking about, right? I have Ki-sikil on the field. I use Ki-sikil's effect to revive Lila. Destroy a card. My opponent attacks me. I can then tribute Ki-sikil to negate the attack. And then because I no longer have a Ki-sikil monster on the field, I can now get advantage out of Evil Twin Lila's effect to revive Ki-sikil, because I couldn't do that before because I had it already on the field. I revive Ki-sikil, and Ki-sikil's effect lets me draw a card. So now I can get both monsters' effects off in the same turn while also negating an attack. The other effect is, during the end phase, you can target one Ki-sikil or Lila monster in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck. Or if you control no monsters, you can add it to your hand instead. You can only use each effect of Live Twin Channel once per turn. So if your opponent manages to clear your board somehow, you activate Live Twin Channel, you return one of the starter monsters to your hand, and then you can just pop off again next turn. And if you are in control of the board, you take the opportunity to shuffle those cards back in your deck so that you can keep using them to chain when you do have to start the chain again. So you want to make sure that you're returning your graveyard monsters to your deck so that you can keep special summoning them from the deck later. It's a good card. I don't know. I don't know that we'll run this card, but if we do, it's going to be like a one-of.
Oh, definitely, because especially since you can search it off special password.
See your password, yeah. The other thing that is fun is Evil Twin Presence. This is a trap card. If you control a Ki-sikil monster and you control a Lila monster, you can activate one of these effects. Target one Ki-sikil or Lila monster you control, and one face-up monster your opponent controls, switch control of those monsters permanently. Or target one set spell or trap your opponent controls and shuffle it into the deck. So, let's say that you have both Ki-sikil and Lila out. Your opponent attacks you with let's say Blue Eyes White Dragon, and you just activate this card, and now you have a Blue Eyes, and you give your opponent one of your monsters. Now, if your opponent passes the turn, because they can't, the only way they can attack is by trading into your monster, which would leave them defenseless, you can then attack with Blue Eyes, kill that monster, attack your opponent directly, and then during the next main phase, you still get to revive that monster because you can revive it every single turn. So this is like a creature swap that has inherent value for you because you can easily access the monster that you swapped away. So, and then the effect to shuffle traps is obviously really good in Duel Links. Um, yeah, that's about all I have to say about Evil Twins. It's an interesting deck. If you want to play Evil Twins at any point, you will have to get 3 copies of both of these cards because you'll need them and they won't be reprinted. Um, it really sucks that these are both URs because that means that you literally can't start playing the deck until you've gone through this box 3 times. But I don't know what you guys were expecting. This is a waifu deck, and Konami's going to milk everyone who wants to play this deck for everything they've got. Okay,
Not the waifu tax.
it is a ridiculous waifu. I've never seen a waifu tax like this where both of the starters are URs. All right. Okay, one last thing in the box, and that is magic keys. And this is going to take forever. Okay. So
Look at how many cards there are.
I know. They gave us almost the whole archetype except for the new stuff. So good on Konami. You know, these could have been Altergeist cards, but whatever. um okay, so we have a super rare normal monster. Clavkiss, the Magic-Key Sky Blaster, which is a level 4 warrior monster. It is dark. It has 1900 attack and 1900 defense. Um, Everyone is full of possibilities. Everything you do, moving forwards, stopping, closing, opening, is all in your hands. There are many doors in this world. To open them requires the magic key. 2 keys and 1 door. 2 wills and 1 body. Once the doors are open, the worlds will be connected, and the great power revealed.
Oh yes, we got the perfect keys. 9 came gems just to get 2 of these copies for 1 run.
So this is obviously a reference to Kingdom Hearts. This is Sora, and it's a very fun deck. The idea behind Magic-Key, there's 2 main themes to Magic-Key. Number 1 is fusion, exceeds, and synchro summoning using normal monsters as material, and the other theme is having using every attribute that you can. So you can basically you have Magic-Key Sky Blaster, and there is some benefit to having Magic-Key Sky Blaster as like one of the cards in your deck, but for the most part, you could play any normal monster you want as long as it's level 4. So you could play this with Silverfang for the level 4 Earth Wolf that's got 1200 attack points. You could, or no, wait, no, Silverfang is level 3. Battle Ox. Battle Ox is Earth. You could play Fire Yaru, which is fire. You could play what's a good water one? 7-colored fish. You could play this with Mystical Elf is light. You could play this with what's a good wind one? Harpy Lady.
You could play this with Avram too.
You can play Avram. Avram is also a normal monster, and the benefit of having all these monsters with different attributes in your graveyard is all the extra deck monsters and all the high level monsters care about matching attributes. Okay, so the ultra rare for Magic Keys is called Magic Key World, and is a field spell card. When this card is activated, you can add 1 Magic Key monster from your deck to your hand. So it is already a reinforcement of the army. That's very good. The first time each non-token normal monster you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect each turn, it is not destroyed. That is also extremely good. So you protect your normal monsters that are not tokens from being destroyed by battle or by card effects, which includes Clavkiss. Clavkiss, you could just, if you brick for whatever reason, well, I mean, you're not going to brick while you have Magic Key World out. It's literally the unbrickable card. Never mind. We're not even going to talk about it. During your main phase, you can add 1 Magic Key Mafti from your deck to your hand, then place 1 card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. So it searches 2 times. It searches on activation, and then it just draws you Mafti as well. But you have to put a card back from your hand into the deck. And you might think, okay, well that's not really a plus. It is, because Mafti lets you use materials from your deck. So it doesn't matter. You're putting cards from your hand back in your deck. You're just going to use them again. All right, we'll get to that. The when you activate this, you get to add a magic key monster from your deck to your hand. That is almost always going to be Magnificent Magiki Maftiel. I did not misspeak. The first word in this card's name is a portmanteau of the word Majin and the word magnificent. So, Magnificent Magiki Maftiel, which is a level 4 Light Fiend Tuner monster. It cannot be used as material for a Synchro or Exceed summon except for the Synchro or Exceed summon of a Magiki monster. If you control a Magiki monster, you can reveal this card in your hand, and then you can normal summon one Magiki monster during your main phase's turn in addition to your normal summoner set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. Then when this card is normal summon, you can target one level 4 or lower normal monster or one level 4 or lower Magiki monster in your graveyard and special summon it in defense position. So, really good effect. And basically, you just you need to summon something else. Then you draw this for free with World. Then you get an extra normal summon to play this card, and then you revive whatever materials you use to summon like your fusion or Xyz monster, and then you can just synchro Xyz or fusion summon with those two cards, and it's like more free materials. This card is insane. This card will be a 3 of. This card will be a 3
Definitely, definitely.
of. Then Mafti is you can fusion summon one Magiki fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters on your field or hand as fusion material. Or you can ritual summon one Magiki ritual monster from your hand by attributing monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed that level. If you control a normal monster, you can also send one normal monster from your deck to the graveyard as material or tribute. So here's what you do. You normal summon Celtic Guardian. Then you activate Magiki Mafti, and you send Feral Imp from your deck to the graveyard. And now you can ritual summon.
I see now.
Yep. All right, and I'm not joking either. I'm listing all these random level 4 normal monsters. That is the deck. I am sorry, it's weird. That's the deck. All you care about is that they have different attributes than the other cards, and Maftiel is light, so you don't want any light monsters, but you want like every other type of and all the Magiki extra deck monsters, all these the level 4s are dark, so you don't want Sky Blaster because he's also dark. So you want like cards that are not Sky Blaster. Okay. Okay, so you can ritual summon Betos Buster with Mafti just with any level 4 normal monster. So Betos Buster is probably going to be the first card in your combo. Betos Buster is a machine ritual effect monster, and it is also a tuner monster. So it can be used to synchro summon, but it cannot be used to synchro summon if the other card is Maftiel, because then they're both tuners. Very interesting. You can ritual summon this card with Magic Key Mafti. If this card is ritual summoned, you can add one Magic Key card from your deck to your hand. So we already had a field spell that searched 2 cards. Then this card searches another card. Any other Magic Key card that you want. It could be a monster, it could be a spell, it could be a trap, it could be anything. You can only use this effective Magic Key Mech Musket Betos Buster once per turn. Once per turn, when an attack is declared involving this card and an opponent's monster that has the same attribute as a normal monster or a Magic Key monster in your graveyard, you can place any number of cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck. And if you do, negate the effects of that opponent's monster until the end of this turn, then draw the same number of cards from your deck. So that effect is kind of weird. You probably won't use it because you're probably not keeping this card on the field. You get it to like it's your starter. You draw whatever card you need, and then you use it as material to either Xyz or Fusion Summon. But still really good. Then you have Magic Beast and Siabolas, which is a beast, fusion, effect, and tuner monster. So once again, we have a level 4 tuner monster. It requires one Magic Key monster and one normal monster except a token. If this card is fusion summoned, you can add one Magic Key Mafti from your graveyard to your hand. So you use Magic Key Mafti to make this card, and then you immediately get Magic Key Mafti back. So as you can see, even though this is a deck that spams fusion and ritual monsters, you literally have like 4 different cards that we've all looked at that just keep adding the fusion ritual spell to your hand. So you will never run out of gas with this deck. I'm really interested to see how this deck plays with 20 cards, because it's going to be very consistent. Um,
Oh, definitely.
if this card is fusion summoned, you can add Magic Key Math T from your graveyard to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. Once per turn, you can target one attack position monster your opponent controls with the same attribute as a normal monster or a Magic Key monster in your graveyard, change it to defense position, and if you do, it loses 1,000 defense points permanently. And then banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card. So forcing the opponent's monster into defense position and stripping 1,000 defense points off of it is okay. It's you don't have any piercing in Magic Keys for some reason, but it's good enough. You can definitely beat over with this card and then banish a monster if you want to, but it's unlikely again that you would keep this card on the field when you can just use it as material. Um, but again, like it's a card where you want to put as many normal monsters as possible in your graveyard, so you fusion and ritual summon as much as possible. You keep sending cards from your deck to the graveyard, you keep thinning your deck, you keep drawing more cards, and eventually you go on the attack. Then we have one Xyz monster, which is Magic Spirit Vepartu. This is a water monster. It is a sea serpent for some reason. Requires 2 level 4 monsters. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can detach 1 material from this card to draw 1 level 4 or higher normal monster from your deck or graveyard. If this card has a normal monster as material, it gains this effect. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster with the same attribute as a normal monster or a Magic monster in your graveyard, you can detach 1 material from this card, and then your opponent must send that monster to the graveyard. So that is a non-targeted send, which is Dingirsu. Is that good? Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, but you can only do it once, right? Because you Xyz summon, you detach 1 material, then you have to detach a material to use this effect. So you can only do it 1 time unless you don't search. And by the way, this is another search. You're drawing a level 4 or higher normal monster, which is amazing. Um, and you may just draw Blue Eyes, honestly, so you can ritual summon the level 8. But
yes, you gotta also consider it like this. It outs Blue Eyes Chaos Max. Like if they were trying to OTK, this basically just clears it off the field.
this does out Chaos Max. You are correct. All right, well that's fair. All right, then we have the higher level monsters. So these are all just kind of like little babies that you make to start, and they all have a search effect for some reason. But now that we're done searching, we have 3 high level monsters. We will start with the Synchro monster. Magic-y Fiend Transferal Mine. This is a level 8 Fire Thunder Synchro monster, and it requires a Magic-y tuner and 1 or more non-tuner normal monsters. So you have to make this with a normal monster. This card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. You can only use each of the following effects of Magic-y Fiend Transferal Mine once per turn. If you control this card that was synchro summoned using at least 2 attributes of monsters, you can set 1 Magic-y spell or trap directly from your deck to your spell and trap zone. If your opponent's normal or special summons a monster with the same attribute as a monster in your graveyard, you can destroy that monster. So you put a bunch of monsters in your graveyard, and then when your opponent summons one of them, you just get to destroy it. And also, more search. We have more search. Do you need more copies of Magic-y Math T? Here you go. Here's another copy of Magic-y Math T. Insane. Then we have Magic-y Mechmortar Garrus Glasser, which is a level 8 Earth Machine monster. You can ritual summon this card with Magic-y Math T. It gains 300 attack for each different attribute in your graveyard. So this is 7th Road Magician, but always. You can only use each of the following effects of Magic-y Mechmortar Garrus Glasser once per turn. When your opponent activates an effect of a monster with the same attribute as a monster in your graveyard, if at least 2 different attributes of monsters were used for this card's ritual summon, so actually you can't just use Blue Eyes to make this, as a quick effect you can negate that activation, and if you do, destroy that card. If this ritual summon card is sent from the deck to the graveyard, you can add 1 Magic-y monster from your deck to your hand. So again, more search. So you get to negate the activation and destroy that card. So this is a negate once per turn for monster effects, as long as you have the same monster's attribute in your graveyard. Really good. And then finally we have the fusion monster, Magic-y Dragon Andrabime, which requires 1 Magic-y effect monster and 1 normal monster except a token. When this card is fusion summoned, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects. So that means that they pass priority back to you, which means that you can immediately activate this card's effect and your opponent can't stop you with spells or traps. Once per turn, you can target one normal monster or a magic monster in your graveyard and destroy all monsters your opponent controls with that monster's attribute. So let's say that you're going up against Blue Eyes, you just target a light monster, all of their light monsters are destroyed. And then once per turn, if an opponent's monster with the same attribute as a monster in your graveyard is destroyed by battle or card effect, if this card was fusion summoned using two different attributes as material, you get to draw a card. So you summon this card, your opponent can activate cards effects, and you immediately go into I'm going to destroy all your cards and I get to draw a card. Now it doesn't search. It's the only card that doesn't search, but it draws you a card. Pretty good.
Definitely, definitely.
Okay, and as much as that was, by the way, as much as that was for me to go through, there are still a ton of cards left in this box. We have one, two, um, three, four more cards out after all that. Okay, so Magic Key Battle. Target one normal monster, one Magic Key monster, or one Magic Key Math T in your graveyard. Shuffle it into the deck. Then, if you activate this card in response to your opponent's card or effect activation, normal monsters and Magic Key monsters you control are unaffected by that opponent's card effect. So it gives you more copies of Math T. You could literally just take Math T, put it back in your deck, so you can keep using all this search to get it back. And then it also just makes one of your cards immune to the card, whatever card you chained it to. So it's extremely dumb. That's a very good card. Um, then we have Magic Key Unlocking, which is a counter trap. When your opponent activates a spell or trap while you control a Magic Key Ritual monster or a Magic Key monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. Then you can declare any attribute you want, and if you do that for the rest of the turn, all face-up monsters your opponent controls become that attribute. So you activate Magic Key Unlocking, you make all their monsters the same attribute, then you declare Andrababime's effect, and destroy all monsters of that attribute. So, very good card. Then we have Magic Key Locking. So we had Magic Key Unlocking, and now we have Magic Key Locking. Tribute a normal monster or a Magic Key monster, except a token. Then target up to two normal monsters and or Magic Key monsters in your graveyard, whose total levels equal 8 or less. Special summon those monsters in defense position. Then you can activate one of the following effects immediately after this effect resolves. Either Synchro summon a Magic Key Synchro monster you control, or Xyz using a Magic Key summon a Magic Key Xyz monster using monsters you control. So you can either tribute one monster to get out Transferal Mine, or you can get out Vepartu during your opponent's turn. Pretty good. Then you also have Magic Key Duo, which is you can target one normal monster or Magic Key monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Then you can apply one of the following effects: either Fusion Summon a Magic Key Fusion monster, or Ritual Summon a Magic Key Ritual monster. So you literally have two different trap cards that allow you to either recover two materials to Xyz or Synchro, or recover one material and then Fusion or Ritual Summon.
So
And that is all of the official Magic Key cards. There is also one other card, which is the Great Double Casted Caster, which requires two non-effect monsters. So since you are playing a fusion deck that uses a bunch of normal monsters, you might as well put this card in there if you have space for it. It's a level 8 light spellcaster monster with 800 level 8 light spellcaster with 0 attack points. It gains attack equal to the combined ritual attack of any ritual, fusion, synchro, Xyz, or linked monsters uses fusion material for this card. This card can attack directly. If this card is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can target one of your non-effect monsters that is banished from your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use this effect once per turn. So, what you want to do with this card is you want to fuse. I am not joking. You want to fuse Berserker of the Tenyi and Monk of the Tenyi together, which are two non-effect monsters. They're both link monsters. Then this card gains their attack points, so it gains 4,000 attack points, and then you can just attack your opponent directly.
and then you can also revive them.
And you can also revive them. That's correct.
I definitely do think this deck is gonna be like the S Force, like it was back in Soul Flare Lightning. Like it's gonna be a strong, like either like tier 3 or rogue option.
It's going to take a lot of practice. I don't think a lot of Duel Links players know how Magic works, and Magic is a very weird deck. It was never really that popular. Um, the only reason that I know so much about it is because it's a very popular card deck on Luke Von Karma's channel, and Luke Von Karma is like the only YouTuber I still watch. So I see Magic replays and Master Duel all the time these days. But um, yeah, it's gonna be weird. Um, since you brought up S Force, there are actually 3 S Force cards in this box. Um, so we have S Force Retroactive, which is a level 1 Light Warrior monster. If a monster you control would be used as link material for an S Force monster, this card in your hand can also be used as material. During the main phase, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon one level 2 or higher S Force monster from your hand. And if an S Force monster you control would banish a card from your hand to activate its effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So you summon this, you return it to the hand to play S Force Lapswell, and S Force Lapswell is a level 6. If this card is special summon, you can target one S Force monster in your graveyard and special summon it. You can banish one S Force card from your hand to destroy all your opponent's monsters in the same column as your S Force monsters. So you normal summon Reactor, special summon Lapswell with this card, like with this effect, revive one of your other monsters to have like multiple zones covered, and then banish Reactor to destroy all cards that you basically point to, right? And then the last card is S Force Dog Tag, which is a light machine, 1600 attack, 2100 defense. During your main phase, your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters in the same column as your S Force monsters. If your opponent normal or special summons monsters while you control an S Force monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. So you get S Force Dog Tag out, and then you can just basically ignore all your opponent's monster effects, and then you OTK them. Pretty simple stuff. S Force is not that complicated. What do you think?
I do know that, but like with this card, like S Force might actually make a comeback.
Yeah, S Force is already pretty decent, so just giving them a couple more monsters might be enough to help them go out. Okay, I think that's everything that's relevant in the box. There is, okay, we talked about the 3, like, high level 8s that are boss monsters for Magikis. So they put World Gears of Theological Demiurgy in the box. And this requires 3 level 5 or higher monsters. It cannot be used as link material, and this link summon card is unaffected by other monsters' effects. So it's unaffected by monster effects, but not spells or traps. You can only use each of the following effects of World Gears of Theological Demiurgy once per turn. During your main phase, if you control this card that was link summoned using 3 monsters that had 3 different types and 3 different attributes on the field, you could destroy all other cards on the field. So 3 level 5 or higher monsters that all had different types and different attributes. That's really hard for most decks to do. But we have an Earth Machine, we have a Fire Thunder, and we have a Wind Dragon. So Magic Key, if you make all 3 of their high level monsters in the same turn, you can link them off into an unaffected by monster effects 3500 attack link 3 that every single turn can destroy all the other cards on the field. And if your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, you can special summon one World Legacy monster from your deck.
Question is it really gonna be worth it?
That
Is
is
it worth?
it's the same thing that Kevin said. I have no idea. I know it's funny. We will have to see. All right. Well, that should be everything. So, Gold, what are your thoughts on this box? Oh, also, Raiden and Nightmare Cerberus are in the box.
I will definitely say do not skip the like I keep my original opinion on what I said, but I definitely feel like it's still worth going through the box, even if it's just for a fact failure. Like there's some good stuff here. Mind control, the kaiju, nightmare. You might even want to grab the pillar to show it. But yeah, there's definitely a reason to go into this box, even if you don't want any of the archetypes.
He's
I was
lying.
originally gonna.
He's a weeb. He's definitely gonna play Live Twins.
Shut up! Shut up! I was originally gonna skip. Like I was originally thinking I was gonna skip the speed duel boxes, but then they come out with this and like now I'm second questioning myself. Do I really want to skip? And the answer is no. I do not want to skip this box.
I'm gonna skip it. I'm going 100% into Rush.
Sure, you're gonna skip effect failure,
I am
but
I
that's good.
I am gonna skip Effect Failure. I can't play Effect Failure in Rush Duels.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. Well, thanks for coming out, Gold. I had a lot of fun.
Same. Thank you for inviting me.
All right, everyone. Goldmine and the Milky Way channel on the Guild of Gurus Discord. The link is in the description. This is Seraphi. I was thrilled to have you all with me.